Good morning, and on behalf of the European Judo Union, welcome to the European Judo Open for women here in Rome. Well, sorry for the slight delay. There was a slight technical problem that we experienced right at the beginning of the competition, and we have missed out on one or two exciting matches, so I hope you're not too disappointed, because there's quite a few matches to look forward to. Joining me is Lincoln Hans. I'm delighted for you to join us again for the second day. Yesterday was very exciting, and I'm quite sure we're anticipating another good day of judo, where we'll be watching the under 70 kilos, under 78s, and plus 78s for the women. So we're going to go across to mat number 3, and we're just seeing the final result there of our number 1 seed, Politi, going through to the next round, which takes us straight into the quarterfinals. So that's a nice little number to get into, isn't it? So
yes,
guaranteed there is a place within the medals, and it all depends on what colour.
Well, there are 18 players in the minus 70 kilo division, and many of the players have a bye in the first round, so they start in second round.
Under 70 kilo, tatami 3.
Now we have just coming up here Jemima Yates-Brown of Great Britain in the white, and Kovalenko of Russia in blue. Now this is going to be a very interesting match indeed. This is ones that Jemima Yates-Brown is not down as one of the seeded athletes, but someone that has been plagued with a few injuries, but has had such a track record as at junior level of winning junior world and European medals. So this is someone that has now, for Great Britain, starting to shine through on the senior circuit. And as you can see here, she puts herself in some really difficult situations, but she is very, very flexible athlete. As you can see there, trying to rotate her opponent up. She's up against a Russian that is very clever in the niwaza. Well, most Russians have got some very good niwaza, so she really cannot afford to make silly errors like that, because that could cost her. Like I said, Jemima Yates-Brown, under 23 European Championships, took a silver medal, and in 2016 in Abu Dhabi, a bronze. This junior world bronze medalist has, like I said, one or two injuries that has taken her out of the world circuit for quite some time.
And she's trying hard to turn the Russian over.
Lovely
and
rotation.
Looks like it's working.
Beautifully executed there, pinning her opponent into, and you can see how she's controlling the head quite nicely, and also that arm. So it's and she's so strong. Needs to drop the hips down a little bit lower to put more weight into the upper body. She's leaving herself slightly high, which gives a little bit room for the shoulder and the hips to start putting a little bit more effort for her opponent. But she still managed to secure the osakomi and a place in the next round.
And that was a nice turnover.
Nice little bit of judo, yeah. And that takes her into the quarterfinals, which is, and she'll be up against Politi, so that will be a challenge against the number 1 seed.
Tatami 3, winner in white for Great Britain, Katie Jemima Yates-Brown. Tatami 3, next contest, second round, under 70 kilo.
And the next match?
In blue for France, Melissa Ellen.
Well, next match coming up is the young lady from Belgium, Mansour Lola, and she's up against Helena of France, Melissa. And just waiting for the athletes to approach. As you can just see there, Mansour is just in the corner of our screen. And this is the under 70 kilos that we're following right now. Mansour in Düsseldorf back in 2016 picked up a bronze medal, so no stranger to getting up there and into the medal positions in Grand Prix and Grand Slams.
And Helene, being 23 years old, had a 5th place at the African Open Casablanca last year, and she looks to dominate the grip here.
Well, first Judo has been awarded there to Mansour of Belgium. Slightly changing the dynamics of this contest now, so it's putting herself under a little bit of pressure. And still just over 3 minutes remaining in the contest. It's a long way to be starting to accumulate the penalties so quickly.
And Helene here is really trying to dominate that sleeve grip here, which is giving a hard time to her Belgian opponent.
Well, as you can see, the French girl is trying to throw that right hand high up over the shoulder there. And Mansour is just holding the sleeves tactically, but it's not paying off. That's her second Judo, and it is because of that defensive gripping situation she's putting herself under. She's trying to drive her opponent. It looks like she's trying to steal this match rather than win it. And what's not paying off is that she's the one that's on the receiving end of the Judos.
Right, and here it goes again. Helene's controlling that sleeve hand, frustrating her opponent.
Well, Mansour's really struggled, hasn't she, against, and Helena picks up her first Judo. Both attempting to attack there at that same time. A little bit of a clash, but Helena battling away and being driven off to the side of the mat. She picks up the second Judo.
And they're not even halfway into the match here.
One more for either one of these athletes would mean a Hansokumaki, a disqualification in the second round.
Both of them are in a really dangerous position here with the penalties.
Well, Helena has just had her Judo wiped from the board, and Mansour Lola has received that last Judo, which is the Hansokumaki. Now, I think what we're looking at is that Helena was given the penalty because she was being driven off to the edge, but it was a deliberate ploy from her opponent to take her off the mat area, and rather than Helena stepping out.
Right.
And that's why they changed that decision. Instead of Helena getting the Judo, they gave it to her opponent for that negative approach of trying to drive her opponent rather than attacking. It was more of a push out rather than engagement.
It's a pity. Neither one of them could show some Judo during that match.
Well, now we have Heidi Jäger of the Netherlands in the white, Belandi Alice from Italy in the blue. Now this will be a very interesting match. Both of these athletes are very young and really have had some a great track record as juniors. Heidi Jäger, 20 years of age, world ranked 47, and under 23 European champion, and 7th place in the World Championships, and this year picked up the 5th place in Tunisia. So what a great start, and a very young athlete that's showing great potential for us, the Netherlands. And her opponent has obviously got to be an Italian favourite for a medal here today, isn't she?
She's a youngster. Did well in the national championships. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of her in the future.
Yeah, and she was junior European champion bronze medalist, and back in 2015 the Youth Olympic Festival champion for Italy as well. So has picked up some nice medals, built up a lot of confidence and a bit of experience, and now is looking to sort of challenge these more senior athletes here in this competition. Well, she drops under her opponent there, trying to get the drive, but as you can see, collapses to the side, so doesn't really get that rotational lift.
That's right. And she tries that again with that drop Soritori Komigoshi.
It's not working for her at this moment. The Sori, as she comes in for the Sori, she doesn't get the lift and the drive off the legs first. She tends to go under, ducks under, and drops rather than getting the lift first and the hips through. It's a shame because there's a lot of effort,
Oh,
but
now
that's
she gets one.
much more effective that time. So
Scores the Vasari.
obviously repetition, eventually she will get it.
Yes.
So there was a lot of perseverance there for Belandi with that Sori, and eventually it's paid off. Now leading with a Wazari.
Attempting to do the shimiwaza. I believe she belongs to the professional sport group of the financial police. Like many of the athletes here, they are in one of the professional sport groups of the military or the police.
So either the military, the police,
Yes.
or the... Well, the one thing that we're never let down by the Italian team is their aggressive approach towards a competition. They're such determined athletes. They're very strong, they're very well prepared, and their condition is good that they can go right through 4 minutes without any problem at all.
Yes.
And I think this is what we're seeing right now is Belandi just persevering, pushing in. She's always on the attack. She's hitting her opponent every time. And Jaeger really is finding this a little bit challenging now. But as you can see, Belandi with 2 Shidos. One more would result, and that would just change it all over. She would end up losing the contest for a disqualification. So she's got to be careful. She cannot afford to make any mistakes. And there you've got a Makakomi, a little bit untidy there, would you not say?
Yes, not the right timing. But I hope she won't get a penalty from that.
Oh, well, that's
another try.
Definitely a lot more of aggressive approach to that. Sodi once more. And Ochigari, that was nice. That was definitely a nice first attack for her, really,
Yes.
that's paid off. So Heidi Jaeger is really coming back a little bit more into this contest with 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining in the contest, but still trails with a Wazari against her. Belandi with 2 Shidos as well as that Wazari. The 2 Wazaris floating around there, the 2 Shidos floating around there is going to be very dangerous for the Italian.
And when she doesn't attack, she really has to do a good one. Otherwise, she'll be at risk of taking another penalty.
Now, for all the work the Italians put in, it would be an absolute shame for her to miss out in the next round. She's done a lot of work here, but is starting to look surprisingly tired.
Well, she has been the one doing most of the attack in this match, and that's wearing her out in the last minute.
Well, that was so close to a score there that she put in with that Oso Tagari. She stumbled her down to the ground, but she continued to move her opponent through. Didn't just miss out. Ochigari come there, but Belandi is starting to look very tired.
Yes, she only has to hold on for another 24 seconds.
But with 2 Shido, she can't afford to hang on. She has to keep fighting, and she has to stay very strong, precise with her grips, and those attacks have got to be spot on. She cannot afford to put a drop in that's going to fail.
That's right.
Well, the referee has stopped. And this is always my fear when they ask him to tidy up the gi.
It's a suspense. You never know what the referee will say.
Well, it normally follows with another Shido and the Hansokimaki when it comes to the third and final.
Awatari.
with that Osotogari, the one that I was saying that was very, very slow, but she continues. Oh, look at that!
She came in for Kouchi Makikomi and got counter flat on her back for Ippon.
Well, look at the body language there. You can see the core, it's going up and down. She's exhausted. And, well, what a comeback for the Dutch girl. Heidi Jaeger goes through to the third round. And let's see the highlights of that. Oh, just rotated her over. It was a half-hearted attack with the Kouchi.
Yes.
She played lip service to it, she put the leg in, but she had no upper body control. It was just pure exhaustion.
It was a desperate attack, and she paid the price.
Well, that was very disappointing for Italy, really, because she did all the work for the first 2.5 minutes and looked on track to be putting herself into the next round, and sadly it just all went horribly wrong.
In the next match here, we have Kalita Zupancic from Canada and Lucie Perrot from France in blue.
Well, Supanic from Canada is the number 2 seed in this competition. Has a very impressive lineup of medals. Last year, Pan American champion, and in Paris last year picked up a silver medal along with Tokyo in a 5th place, and was 7th in the Olympic Games in Rio. So this is someone that's a very strong contender for gold medal here today. And there you have it, the Sangaku Jimmy for the Ippon. Pero looking to be a little bit uncomfortable there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but
it looks like
Zupancic
had an arm lock inside the Sankaku as well.
Well, you can do the Sangaku Jimmy turn, but also as well as the Sangaku Jimmy choke, you can also put the arm lock on as well from that position. And obviously we only saw her back, so in the position she would have had the arm in front. You can rotate the joint for the arm lock in that position, so maybe she had the double whammy, not only the choke but the arm lock.
That would be rare to see a Sankaku Jimmy and the Sankaku Gatami in the same movement.
Well, it's very effective.
It is.
Very, and you've also got the Osakomi as well. You've got the Sangaku hold. So
definitely a bad position to be caught in.
Well, it's if you can't get something out of 3 options, then you really just go home, don't you? Well, we have Pazzoni here, Vitili, in the white gi. Zolnikova of Russia in the blue. We're still in the under 70 kilos, the second round. And this is in Pool C, so it's in the bottom half of this draw.
And Pazzoni, 23 years old. She took 3rd place last year at the European Open in Bucharest. And she is the reigning Italian national champion, so the favorite of her category for Italy.
Well, as we know, the Russians are very strong in these weight categories, and not definitely one to underestimate. The Italian, as you can see, with that right high collar grip, very strong in controlling. Drawing the hip forward slightly, bringing herself off to an angle, looking for the big harai, and also the osotogari, but taking it off to the side, so taking her off to a weak point.
Both are fighting for grips here.
And Carola Passoni looking slightly stronger and in more control with the kumikata. She's got that right hand high on the collar there, drawing her opponent's head down. Doesn't seem to do much with it though. She's got the first grip, but it's taken her far too long to actually use it.
Right.
And which means the Russian becomes a little bit more stable and then starts to react in a more positive way and not under much pressure from it. So the Italian, when she gets that grip, she really has to fire through in what she intends to do. So there has to be that next stage. She just doesn't seem to be doing it at the moment. See, she's got the arm crossed there.
And no pull on the arm for the entry.
Koshiguruma, she tries to come in, but she leaves her feet out. And there's no rotation, there's no hip, and there's no drive. It's just a lot of efforts being made to get the grip, but sadly she's not executing anything off it.
And she's able to get that inside lapel grip
quite easily.
Yes.
She gets it every time. Now she's opting whether she takes the sleeve or the lapel. She's got the arm, but
going again. Trying for the Ochi, but turned to something else.
Well, an attempt of a Koshiguruma, isn't it? And a Makakomi at the same time. It was which way do I go, or just really which way do I fall?
In fact.
More than anything else.
And Zonikova picked up a Shido for passivity. With 1 minute left, they each have a penalty and no score.
My fear is what we've just seen with the previous Italian athlete, is that she worked so hard in the first 2 minutes that she burnt out completely and found herself exhausted in the latter part of the contest. Now, Passoni has done the same. She has worked so hard in the first 2 minutes. She has controlled the pace of this contest. She's had the better grips. She's not had the better attacks. I think the danger has come from the Russian, Zolnikova. She is the one that is picking off a little bit more. She's been a little bit more precise in her attacks. And I think it only takes the Italian to put in, like we saw in the previous match, a half-hearted attempt, very soft, very tired entry, and the Russian will pick her off of that. She will counter her.
And the Russian picked up another penalty for stepping out.
So they've got 2 apiece. The next one would be a hand sokumaki. Well, it's been a little bit untidy, hasn't it, this match? Sadly, some very good strong grips.
Like you said, the attacks were not so precise when they make it technique. And they're going into golden score here.
Winner on net 1, in blue for Belgium.
Looking at the way this match is going, it wouldn't be too long before one of them picks up another penalty.
I just think it's just going to be whoever makes the first mistake, because I really cannot see a throw coming from this.
Me too.
Next contest on net 1, second round, 78 kilo.
I think this could be the final Shido being awarded, but I think it could go to the Russian.
Yes.
For that last exchange. Passoni had the higher grip. She drew the head down. She drew her opponent down to her knees, and Zolnikova just collapsed. Really didn't have much to offer.
On net 2, we start quarterfinals.
And there you have it. Zolnikova takes the third and final Shido and awarded a hand sokumaki disqualification, and the win goes to Carola Passoni of Italy, who goes through to the third round in the under 70 kilos.
And the next match, we have Emily Suk from Denmark in white,
Next
and Alina
on mat 3.
Lenwiller from
70 kg.
Switzerland in
blue.
blue.
For Switzerland, Alina Linguala.
Well, Emily Suk is one of these young ladies that always gives a really good performance when she fights, and she's always been very impressive. Tashkent, she took a silver medal, and along with in Zagreb, a 5th place in the Grand Prix. So it's someone that always is knocking on the door for a result, but based on her performance, is someone you don't really forget. She's a great looking athlete. She's very tall and very strong looking as well, so someone that's always impressed me.
I remember seeing her when she just started competing internationally on the senior circuit, and she has made a lot of progress since then.
Winner on mat 1. In white for Hungary, Shanti Evelyn. Tatami 1.
Lenvila obviously was given a Judo there, but swiftly been taken off. Emily Suk has now got 2 Judos against her with still 3.5 minutes remaining. That's just crazy.
It's not even the first minute being over, taking 2 Judos. That's a very dangerous position to be in.
Well, Emily Suk is looking a little bit apprehensive out there. She's been under pressure right from the beginning, and which has really surprised me. Sutemi was her attempt to draw her opponent, and yes, she's very comfortable in the Niwaza. Didn't get much opportunity to show how comfortable she was in the ground, but looking for every opportunity to come back and play this contest. At the moment, she's just been on the receiving end of the Shidos, and she's been totally outgripped in the Tachiwaza. That right hand grip of the... Well, there was an opportunity there with the Makikomi.
It's a good attempt, but she lost control of the grip and upper body.
Well, the first Shido now goes to Alina. Well, can you believe we're just halfway through this contest? And it just feels like they've been out there a lifetime.
Yes.
It's been a very long, drawn-out contest here now, and very little opportunity for either one of these athletes. Lenvila, they're looking for an opportunity into the groundwork. The referee obviously felt that there was very little to offer down there.
Well, Suk had her foot.
Well, Suk there is starting to look a little bit more bouncier on her feet.
Tatami 1 winner in white for Japan, Inamori.
But she's looking bouncy, but she's not really getting the movement from her opponent. She's not breaking balance at all. She's just looking lively, but not engaging.
Next quarterfinal on mat 1. It's over 78 kg. In blue judo game representing Japan, Yamamoto Sara.
I'm glad that she hasn't picked up another penalty. At least they're trying to win by technique.
Well, attempt of a Soji there from Emilia Suk, who now tries to look desperately for an opportunity down in the ground, but very tightly positioned, the young lady from Switzerland. She picks up her second Shido. Now we have this situation that one more for either one of these competitors. would mean a disqualification. Lengvila, as you can see there, with a very good grip, drawing Emily Suk, and that body language, it's a little bit of a hint to the referee, as if to say, I'm getting so frustrated with that.
It'd be interesting to see if Lengvila will pick up the penalty for
which way that will go. Lengvila was wanting Suk to get it, but it backfired on her. It was a deliberate ploy to get the Shido. It wasn't a grip that was engaging to throw it. It was a grip to engaging to bring her down to her knees. That's not a positive grip. And that's why she got that. Now she'll look very surprised at that, but it was so obvious what she was attempting to do.
That's true. Yeah, she wasn't even attempting a technique in the process.
She was trying to steal the match.
Yes.
Tatami 3, second round, under 70 kilo.
Good bit of refereeing there, though. Very good refereeing, because obviously Emilia Suk, she reacted poorly to that. She went down, but obviously there was a lot of power on it. But she did look uncomfortable and she looked tired. But the referee spotted it very well. Realised what that situation was. That was just a ploy to get that Shido. There was no advancing into throwing. It was just to get the Shido. So we have Williams of Belgium in now white. Lochez of France in the blue. Now this is second round again of the under 70 kilos. And the winner of this match will meet Emily Suk of Denmark. Lochez, as you see, they're just stumbling over that very low Taitoshi there from Williams, who now advances into the Niwaza, looking to create an opportunity down there. The legs go in, she gets the positioning right, but doesn't follow through with the upper body attack there. Lochez picking up her first Shido. Throws that arm over high, but Williams there ready with the hips through. Almost caught her in the Ogoshi.
Lochez being the more experienced fighter among the two. 27 years old. The last...
Nice counter there.
That's a Wazari. Has been called off.
It was a little bit of a 50-50 there. It was started off with Williams attacking, and then it was a rescue from Lochez.
Now Lochez could not finish that arm lock.
Well, two neighbouring countries, I'm quite sure they've had a little bit of a head-to-head, and they've trained and competed against each other in other maybe minor events that's been out there on the circuit within Europe. Williams hooking in with the Ouchi-Chimata, then Sutemi Waza draws her opponent down into the Niwaza, looking for the shimmy Waza there, but there really wasn't. But again, a very positive approach to this match. She's always looking for an opportunity, and she's always engaging in this match. There's no negative coming from her. That arm, once more, she's got those long legs that she tries to reach over. Lochez looking a little bit scrappy out there. Really hasn't got that much control on this match as yet.
Right.
With a minute and a half remaining, it's just, there's still some time.
Williams keeps trying for that hip throw, and Lochez does a good job evading it each time.
Williams throwing it once more, tries to throw the arm, opts to come underneath her opponents in the inside. Hips come through, nicely executed, continues to drive through, but here is the arm, as you can see, Williams has got her arm caught up there.
That was close.
Very, very close attack there, almost a score. Well, rightly so. French picks up the second Shido. Really needs to start coming back and changing the pace of this contest. Hooks in with the Ouchi, but still, because of her height, she looks very small and looks like she's being controlled in this contest, Lochez. She really needs to distance herself slightly,
yes,
because the overbearing sort of grip of the Belgium is drawing her head down and making her look quite passive. She needs to break away with that and try and maybe somehow look at using her feet a little bit more to break the balance and then come through. At this moment she's engaging too tightly and she's leaving herself no space whatsoever to maneuver.
Winner on that one, in blue,
With 15 seconds to go, and Lochez still has 2 penalties.
She will be in the semi-final under 78 kilo.
Well, again, those big long legs come across, almost catching her, but still no rotation on it. Just doesn't get the lift and the spin off it with the upper body. The upper body is a cuddle, isn't it? She's drawing her opponent there, but there's no movement in the upper body. The leg is trying to do all the work. She just doesn't have the space.
And Lochez took the 3rd penalty and lost by disqualification with 2 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, well, that was a shame. There was a lot to be gained from that contest, and really, I feel for both athletes, the biggest problem is they engaged too tightly.
Yes.
They were too tight. There was no room to be able to maneuver, to create the space, the opening, and the lift. There was nothing for either one of them. They were just clamped together, and it was whoever fell first was going to win.
We're going to have our first quarter-final match here in under 70 kilos division with Michaela Morales from Austria in white and Katarzyna Yetzbraun from Great Britain in blue.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting match. The number 1 seed, Yetzbraun, wasn't seeded in this competition, but is definitely one of the ones that's under the radar as far as performances are concerned. This a very good track record as a junior, under 23 European silver medalist, and in Abu Dhabi last year took a bronze medal. She's been off the scene for a little bit with injury. She's came back very, very strong, and her program in preparation for these tournaments this year has been very intense, and she has worked hard. Poliers of Austria, Tunis, this year picked up the 5th place. Again, in the under 23 European Championships last year was silver medalist, and also has the track record of junior world and European bronze medalist under her belt. So these are two athletes. They're just different ages. The Austrian's slightly more mature than Yates Brown. But this is going to be a very tough match, I think. This is going to be close.
They look evenly matched so far.
Yates Brown is with the Sodi dropping right under opponent. Now the one thing with Yates Brown, she's very, very flexible. Hyper flexible.
Her arm caught.
She's not going to arm lock her, I can tell you. The arm bends all over the place. It's actually quite scary, the angles that this young lady's limbs can maneuver.
In fact, she got out of that.
Oh, easily. This is a lady that actually feeds the arm to them, just in a pure tease.
Oh, really?
Just a pure tease, as if to say, take the arm. I guarantee you're never going to arm lock me. One day someone will, and that will be the fright of her life that she'll ever get. But and I totally believe that sometimes she's picked up injuries because of this flexibility that she has. She overstretches her range maybe that little bit too much. But she's in a great position now with the Wazari on the board. And 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in this contest.
She will be in the semi-final under 78 kilo. Next quarter-final on men 2 under 78 kilo.
She picked up her first penalty.
La categoria 78 kg, quarti di finale in blu per il Giappone, Rinoko Bada. In bianco per l'Italia, Lucia Tancorre.
Oh, lovely, Kochi. Just clipped the heels, but her arm being around the neck didn't actually get her across to break the balance and drive her off on that Kochi, Gary. She left her shoulder out.
That's a technique she has been trying several times in this contest. Again, here we can see Kouchi.
Winner on bet 1 in blue for Hungary, Karpati Emes. Karpati Emes qualifies for the bronze medal contest over 78 kg.
Well, she's got nice feet, but what she doesn't have, well, she's got the grip inside this time, which could be more effective with her ashiwazas. Well, the shimiwaza, don't know if it's under the chin or not, but obviously not. Half a minute remaining. A Judo apiece, one Wazari on the board for Yates Brown, and Yates is getting closer to that semi-final position for Great Britain. The Tayatoshi steps across very low, starts to eat away at the time by trying desperately to keep her opponent down at Umiwaza.
5 seconds to go.
Well, you can see Polia's face. I think it tells the whole picture, doesn't it? She was totally frustrated in that match against Yates Brown. And Polia's the #1 seed goes out to Katie Jemima Yates Brown of Great Britain.
The Diamond Speed winner in blue for Great Britain, Katie Jemima Yates Brown. Katie Jemima Yates Brown will be in the semi-final under 70 kg. Next quarter-final on mat 3 under 70 kg. In blue for the Netherlands, Hilda Jager. In white for France, Melissa Eleonora.
And here we have another quarter-final match between Melissa Helene in white from France and Hilde Jager from the Netherlands in blue. Both of them are taking an extreme stance here. And Helen looks more active in her attacks in this contest compared to her last one, where she won mostly by outgripping her opponent.
In blue for Belgium, Sophie Berger. In white for Spain, Laia Tal. Winner of mat 2 in blue for Japan, Wada Rinako.
And there we have Archie
In the semi-final under 78 kilo. Next contest on tatami 2, it's repechage over 78 kilo. In blue for Hungary, Sigitvarin Mercedes. In white for Germany, Christine Buisot.
Jigger tries for that high collar grip, keeping her opponent with double lapel grip. And Helen receives a penalty for same side gripping.
A very extreme style of gripping there from the Netherlands. She draws her opponent across the chest, that chin going over the arm, tempting and teasing her with that Oso Tagari you've seen, and she's just waiting for the counter-attack from that. It's Helena, she knows that that's there, but it doesn't stop her from being tempted by doing the Oso Tagari. Looking at the style and the sort of positioning that Helena is in, you would look to see that the Ouchigari was there if she had that rotation from. She would have to be very fast and switch very quickly on it, but it looks to, from this angle, it looked like the Ouchigari was there for her, but doesn't seem to want to attempt it for some reason. Well, that extreme and doing nothing is given her the penalties. So she stumbles her opponent there down into the Niwaza, tries to capitalize down there with the Sangaku, couldn't get that foot behind the arm. And the referee obviously calming down both referees, both coaches at the side of the mat, I should say, but very excitable coaches. As you can see, she's tempting her with that Oso Tagari. She's actually teasing that leg forward, the Dutch girl, as if to say, go for it, because I've got the arms, I've got the position to actually do the counter, and that's what I'm waiting for.
And that was over the chin.
There you have it again, the arm comes over the top, the shoulder goes in, she's very strong, she rotates. She's like giving her that leg again. Helena's tempted every time. And the longer the minutes go, the more tired she becomes, and the attack will become half-hearted, and that's where...
I'm surprised neither of them has tried something like far side Kosotogari.
Exactly. Or even instead of being attempted for the Osotogari, go for the opposite, the Ouchigari.
Right.
Instead of going for the one that she's been teased with, the French girl could look for the Ouchigari instead, which is there, the supporting leg of Jaeger. Well, she picks up a second Judo now. That's 2 apiece. She was playing that little game, that sort of teasing game, as I would say. And it's cost her a Judo. And as we know, one more.
But finally, she did a Ouchigari attempt. and at least got Helene to go backward a few steps.
So again, the shoulder goes across, extreme, drawing opponent's sleeve across her chest. Uso to Gary, she's tempting her with it. Helena comes in again once more, but she's stumbling. It's a rocky one. It doesn't look powerful at all. It really is very dangerous. With 5 seconds remaining before we enter into the golden score.
Golden score. Tatami 3. Golden score.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this one finally ends up, because normally found with the golden scores, we've got a result within the first minute, even 30 seconds in the golden scores. They've not really gone any further than a minute here in this tournament. The extreme right, high collar grip from the Dutch girl, draws the shoulder and the head down over her opponent's sleeve, showing that leg, and you've got the ouchi-gari. She's starting to do it now, hooking in with the ouchi, and there it is. She must have been listening eventually. Uso to Gary will attempt there. Helena stumbles to the ground. She's looking a little bit rocky on her feet. And there you have it, the final score, the only score, with a Wazari. And it was really, Helena just collapsed there, didn't she? She was exhausted. And as you can see, the whole body language, she's lying there. I don't think she could scrape herself off the ground. She is... There we have the arms start to drop.
Came in for very poor Osotogari with no control on the hands, on the body.
She just flopped into that, didn't she? She was really totally exhausted. So Jago goes through for the Netherlands into the semi-final of the under 70 kilos.
Will be in the semi-final under 70 kilo.
And she'll be up against Yates Brown of Great Britain. So that'll be a very interesting battle as we later on today.
Tatami 2, we have short break.
And now we have the next quarterfinal coming up between Karita Zupancic from Canada in white and Carola Paesoni from Italy in blue.
Well, Zupancic is the number 2 seed in this competition, but we've already seen the number 1 go out.
Yes.
So really that's not saying too much. And Paesoni on home grounds, crowd behind her, desperately wanting to make her mark here in Rome this weekend. And there's got to be a slight advantage for her. Familiar with the surroundings that she competes in. Had a great first match, quite a challenging one in fact, against the Russian.
Paesoni picked up her first Judo now. Both fighting for that sleeve grip, not letting each other get it.
Paesoni, as you can see, with a high collar grip, sort of wrapped around like a koshiguruma sort of attempt. a real hug around the shoulders. Makakomi attempt there from the Canadian. Really hasn't settled into this contest yet. The Canadian a little bit weary. Look, her body language is just saying that she's backing off slightly. Well, she attempted the attack there, but left the elbow tucked up in the air, lost the power, didn't she, for that rotation.
Well, Passoni doesn't seem to have too much trouble getting that inside collar grip.
She's quite comfortable in getting it every time, and looks, she's controlling the pace of this match at this moment. This is her pace, her control. At this moment, she is driving the direction of this contest. Once more, hits her every time first. The Italian just a very aggressive punch to it, right in first. Doesn't seem to have much though to follow through with the next stage. She gets in and then it just seems to sort of fall apart. There's a lot of effort being made in creating the advantage, but doesn't continue.
Tatami 2 si ricomincia di nuovo. Per la categoria 78 kg, per la fase di recupero, abbiamo in blu per l'Italia Lucia Tangor e in bianco sempre per l'Italia Linda Politi.
Supanic there looking for a creating opportunity in the Niwaza. She's got that arm, she's trying to brace on the elbow, pulling the shoulder back. The Sangaku legs are just so wide open, there's really very little to support, but that arm is what's going to cause the problem. It needs to rotate. I would say go for the hold down. And there she does. But needs to tie up the head, needs to keep working with that shoulder, and there you have it, Ryosakomi.
She has control of that arm and shoulder. It's going to be very difficult to get out for Passoni.
And from our angle, on the viewer's angle, it looks like she's almost turned onto her tummy there. But it's what's most important is that for a hold down to count, the shoulders have to be in control. You have to have the shoulders on the tatami.
And Pancic has won by the hold down.
So Supanic goes through to the semi-final of the under 70 kilos in the bottom half. That was out of Pool C, and the next match coming up will be to see who the winner of Pool D will be to meet them in that semi-final.
The WX3 winner in white for Canada, Kenita Supancic. She will be in the semi-final under 78 kg. Next quarter-final on black.
And now we have Emilia Suk from Denmark in the white, Gabriella Williams of Belgium in the blue. Now, based on performance so far in the first two matches that we'd seen, Emily Suk was quite lucky to get through into this quarter-final position. She was very much challenged in that previous match, whereas Gabriella Williams was looking very sharp. I thought she's got an opportunity here. She defeated her French opponent, Lochez, and wasn't an easy match indeed, but made it. She was very positive. The upright legs, the advantage that she has of the limb, that posture is so nice. But this might suit both of them because they both like to be upright and they're very powerful. But the advantage of height goes to Williams once more.
Yes.
But maybe it's just for Emily Suk, it might have just been that first match nerves that just didn't give her the performance that we would normally expect. For me, I was quite surprised in how she competed in her first match. Maybe she just needed that warm-up. One might see something a little bit more like we normally see from Emily Suk.
Suk is trying to not get closed in by Williams. Falls to the ground, and now Williams is attempting the arm lock from bottom.
Winner on mat 1, in white for Japan, Eleonora. She will be in the final. Yamamoto Sara from Japan will fight for bronze medal over 78 kg. Next contest on
And Suk scores a Bazari with Sodetori Komigoshi on Williams. And that's a throw she has attempted a few times before.
Well, what we'd like to do, and it's no disrespect to the match that we're watching right now, but as we can see over on the other mat number 1, we have a semi-final match coming on here, and this is with Reid of Great Britain, Aslanki of Hungary, and this is for a place in the final. So we haven't actually covered much of this weight category, so I think it'd be interesting just to swiftly go across and then come back to the semi-final of the under 70 kilos. So we're here now with the under 78s. We have Reid of Great Britain in the white, Salenki of Hungary in the blue. And this is the start of the semi-final of the under 78s. Nakikomi attempt there. Scoring Wazari, Sir Salanki of Hungary, who now takes the lead. 2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining.
Tatami 2 vince per l'Italia Eleonora che la vedremo combattere nella finale.
Tatami 2, the last semi-final, under 78 kg.
Lovely attack there. He tries to counter the first initiation of an attack from Salanki, but just didn't get that rotation. 1 minute 42 seconds remaining in the contest. He just touching the leg there for the Kosota to try and break her opponent's balance, but as you can see, the Hungarian throwing that right hand high over the collar causes a few problems. Reed coming up high with the right hand onto the collar, takes her opponent's right sleeve. Makakomi once more there. Evelyn trying to rotate, but finding herself in a little bit of tricky water there as she's now in the Osakomi, and Emma Reed of Great Britain has really capitalized, but she cannot secure that hold.
Chloe Durant from France will fight for bronze medal under 78 kg.
Solanke does extremely well to get out of that hold down. And
winner on mat 3 in white for Denmark, Emily Sola. She will be in the semi-final under 70 kg.
Well, Solanke just kept moving and trying to get out.
Next contest on mat 3, repechage under 70 kg. In blue for France, Melissa Nelling. In white for Austria, Michaela Bollers.
half a minute remaining.
Reed was just short of a Vazari when she held down Solanke earlier. And she's desperate to get back that score.
Well, 17 seconds remaining. Solanke takes the first Judo. Oh, there was a great attempt there for the Kosota. Just didn't get enough turn on that. But continues to battle away to try and come back into this contest. The seconds tick away. And Solanke can afford to pick up another Judo and will do. Oh, a last-ditch effort there for Reed. Sadly, it wasn't meant to be, but we'll see her a little bit later for the repechage. The chance of a bronze medal.
The number 1 winner in blue for Hungary, Solanke Evelyn. She will be in the final under 78 kg. Emma Reed from Great Britain will fight for bronze medal. Dear spectators, this was the last contest on Tatami 1 in the preliminaries.
So we'll go across to mat number 3. We're back to the under 70 kilos. Which is the repechage. Polios, who was the number 1 seed in white from Austria, and Helena of France in the blue.
So here we're halfway into this match, and Polaris has a Judo on board and just was thrown by Helene for a Vazari. And Helene has the height advantage. She has good control on the grip. And And Polaris tries to close in Helene by taking the around the back grip. With 14 seconds to go, Helene is ahead by Vasari. And Mate was called before the Osotogari attempt from Polaris, and it seems Helene may have been injured from the action. She's able to stand up on her own and walk to the center of the mat. So the match will continue after she received the penalty for passivity with 3 seconds to go. I think she may receive another penalty for running away, actually for stepping out of bound. So just 1 more second, and Melissa Helene from France goes to the bronze medal fight. But she seems to be in pain from that injury she incurred earlier during the dying seconds of this match.
Melissa Helene. She qualifies for the bronze medal contest under 70 kg.
Tatami 3, prossimo incontro per la categoria di 70 kg, la fase di recuperi.
And in the next repechage match, we have Carola Passoni from Italy in white and Gabriella Willens from Belgium in blue. I think they may have some technical difficulty with the software. That's why they're waiting so long to get started with this match. Oh, that has been fixed. Paisone is still able to get that inside grip on the collar, but she has to be careful of that high grip from Williams. Once again, she's got that grip around the neck, and Williams counters with Kosoto Gake and scores Vazari. Both fighters have a very upright posture. Each is trying to exert her dominant grip here. Both fighters tried some Ashiwaza attacks with no success here. So 2 minutes into the match, Williams is up with 1 Wazari. Paisone just attempted a drop Seonagi, and Williams picks up a penalty for passivity here. The second penalty goes to Williams. Which was called off. Paisone gets the high collar grip and drags Williams down, and this might be a penalty. The referee gives a Judo to Williams, and we have only 1 minute left on the clock. Williams, even though she is ahead with Bazari, cannot afford to take another penalty. And Paisone looks like the dominant one with her grip, forcing Williams to the ground. A few more drops like that, Williams will probably get another penalty. The referee has them adjusting the uniforms before issuing his next decision. And the penalty goes to Paisone instead of Williams for stepping out. And Paisone is attacking aggressively, trying to force another penalty on to Williams with just a few seconds left on the clock. Williams attempts a drop Seonagi, poorly done, and the referee decides to give her a penalty for ducking her head under her opponent's grip with 1 second left on the clock. And what a pity that is. Williams was ahead by Vasari and lost in the last second to her opponent by penalty.
Paissoni che andrà a combattere per la medaglia di bronzo.
Well, that was definitely a disappointing end for the young lady from Belgium. It's a silly error to make, and
she must be very disappointed.
Well, when she looks back at that match and reflects on what she could have done, she was so close of getting herself into the repechage final. But here we have the semi-finals of the under 70 kilos, and this is Jemima Yates-Brown in the white and Heidi Jager of Netherlands in the blue. Now, we've seen both these athletes compete, haven't we?
Yes.
Over the day, and their performances have been outstanding, haven't they?
They have been. They are very active, and both are good in the ground.
Yates-Brown has been one of these that has been under the radar. She wasn't a seeded athlete in this weight category, and but has the pedigree to be seeded. She's been plagued with quite a few injuries, so she's been out for about 8 months and has come back quite strong. And for someone who's got the pedigree of a world and a European junior medal under her belt, and straight from injury came back to winning a Grand Prix bronze medal. Now, right away, she's on the attack. She's a fiery little character when she gets going, and that aggressive approach into the knee waza is what's taken her flying through into the final of the under 70 kilos. And I think that body reaction and
talk about Niwaza, she called her opponent with the strangle.
Well, Jaeger really didn't know what hit her, did she? She came into this match and didn't even get fired up, where Yates-Brown was up for it as soon as she stepped onto the mat. She knew what she was coming for, and she's gone straight into that final, and what she's looking for is that gold medal. She had a very disappointing performance last week, but is made up for it this week.
Here we have the other semi-final in under 70 kilograms division between Kalita Fupancic from Canada in white and Emily Suk from Denmark in blue.
Well, Emily Suk is one of these that has surprised me. She has scraped her way through to this semi-final.
I was just about to say that.
Oh,
literally scraped through. She just edged through every match.
And it's no disrespect to Emily, because why we say that is because I've seen her so many times perform on a world circuit, and her performance has been outstanding. She's somebody that really does impress me quite a bit. But today she's been pretty flat and has just got through by the skin of her teeth into this semi-final. And
now I'm afraid she's been caught in this triangle.
Well, Zupanic, she's the number 2 seed. We did predict her right at the beginning to be someone that would get in that final, and the only stumbling block would have been Suk, but Suk just didn't perform as well as what she would normally do, and rightly so. I think that number 2 seed has been very consistent throughout the stages of this tournament to get herself a deserving place in that final with Yates-Brown.
Yes.
Kalita Fupancic. She will be in the final under 70 kilos.
Now we have the final decided.
Well, it's been some interesting matches. There's been a few disappointments of our number 1 seeds going out in the earlier stages of this competition. But this is what it's about. We're mixing some experienced fighters with some youngsters that are hungry and they're desperate to get in there and have a go and prove themselves that they're capable of hitting the Grand Slams and Grand Prix of throughout the year. And but we've not been disappointed once more. Yesterday we had some good matches. It was a nice atmosphere. Today has been exactly the same. There's been some real surprises, but there's been some wonderful judo, and we're looking forward to the final block. So I do hope you've all enjoyed the commentary that we have given here this morning, and I hope you'll rejoin us at 2 o'clock when we will start the final block of the women's under 70s, under 78s and plus 78s of this European Cup here in Rome. So for myself, Loretta Cusack-Doyle, and
this is Lincoln Hahn. Thank you for watching.
Yep, and we look forward to you joining us a little bit later on today. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, good. I listened in, got a great voice, it comes over well, it's nice.
Some of the matches, honestly, off the air were...
Oh, I know, and that's where you have to, it's the hardest thing in the world, is to try and make something that's absolutely right, sound good.
It helps if you have the background stories of the fighters.
Yeah, because you can add something to it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know all of them.
Sometimes what you've got to do is just make it up.
Right.
If it sounds good and if it's not a big lie, then it's okay.
Just make it colorful.
Most of the time, it's that you can say you've never seen them before and they're fighting really bad, and you don't want to say, oh, they seem terrible to say, but you know what? I've seen her perform so much better. That's why I'm not really disappointed, because I know she can do better in this, and she'll be frustrated at the end of this tournament, knowing that she can reflect back in how she performed today to what she was in previous matches. They have been on the circuit. You might not have seen it. There'll be a lot of people going, do you know she can fight better than that? Might not be good today, but she is generally good. So that's what you do. Just adding that. Going well, that's another fail, another drop that didn't work. It's like negative. Then you can say, she's capable, I know what she's trying to do. It just doesn't seem to be working for her. Maybe it's a bad. Maybe it's been.
A lot of speculation. Yeah, a lot of speculation. But I have to say yes to it.
Get an update on the sheet.
So looks like we're gonna start at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Okay. Alright, that's the time. Try to be here a little bit earlier. The rental bathrooms will be filling up.
back to the final block of the second day of this competition and the European Open in Rome. Shortly we will begin with the repechage final of the under 70 kilos, and we'll be covering on mat number 2. I'm delighted to have with me joining Lincoln Hun, and welcome back, Lincoln.
Well, thank you.
And so far, to recap what we've been watching and witnessing for the past 2 days, the standard is actually very, very high, isn't it, for these young athletes? And we say young because there is quite a few youngsters that are making their debut here on the senior circuit.
You're right. The average age is toward the early 20s of these athletes.
And we've been going through some of the names that are going to appear here on this tatami for a medal hope. And some of them are just unknown. We don't have much information about them. So it'll be very interesting to see how it pans out. They will make their debut for a medal. Maybe they will get on that world ranking list eventually. And there's a couple of athletes that sadly we have to announce. The Gallion, who represents Italy, was the #1 seed in the under 78 kilo category. And sadly she picked up an injury on the day of the draw. She was doing a warm-up and she got injured.
Bad luck.
And what a shame, because she was the #1 seed, a big hope for a gold medal here today. And we do hope that she gets a speedy recovery from that injury. Hopefully it isn't too serious, because this is someone that is an amazing athlete and has produced some fine results for Italy over the past.
Yes, she's a very strong athlete with good, consistent performance.
Yeah.
But, you know, bad luck happens.
Bad luck happens, and it all depends on how you bounce back and get back on that mat later on. And she's a very experienced athlete, and I'm sure that we'll see her very, very shortly again on the world circuit. So we will be commencing in about 2.5 minutes. The atmosphere is starting to heat up here, and the support here for not only the Italians but for all the athletes today has been amazing, hasn't it?
Yes, it
has. And sometimes we've been overshadowed by the noise of the crowd around us at times.
We have sensitive microphones, so we pick up all the noises around it.
Yes, definitely, and especially some of the music, which is quite inspiring as well. And we see it in the opening ceremonies, and we've also in this today we've seen some kata as well. So they definitely celebrate judo here in Italy, don't they?
Oh yes, you know, especially in Rome, where many of the athletes live and train.
So for those viewers out there, obviously I'm a bit of an old school girl out here. It's sort of been around the circuit for many, many years. And so for our viewers out there that are listening, just give us a little bit of background on what you do in the moment, because I know you're heavily involved in judo and you teach, but you also compete, don't you?
Well, I used to compete a lot more. I compete in 73 kilos division, and now I teach judo at the US Naval Base in near Naples. It's actually in Caserta, and it's about 2.5 hours from Rome, south of Rome. And I teach judo to students of all age groups.
Yes, and you have many women in the naval base that participate in judo?
Yes, I do. Actually, I have to say almost half of my students are women.
Any competing here?
Oh, no, they're too beginner to compete at this level.
Right.
It will take them some years.
But there's hopefuls there in the future.
But this kind of event is kind of inspirational to especially new students, you know, because if they see other women competing at such high level, doing good judo, they have something to aim for, even if they may never arrive at this point.
Oh, definitely. Well, the judo that we have seen here today and yesterday has been very inspiring for young athletes, and we've actually seen some very, very young judokas participating in the opening ceremonies that we've witnessed, and very, very excited indeed to be here. But we will be commencing right now with the under 70 kilo bronze medal, first of the bronze medal finals, and this is against, this will be Melissa Helena in the white representing France, and we have Emily Souk representing Denmark in the blue. And both these athletes, we can be delighted to say that we have watched their progress throughout the day. And I know we keep going back to saying Emily Souk. For me, It's not been one of her best days of performances, but she has trunched along, hasn't she? And she's dug in deep to just get herself to this bronze medal final.
And the little luck helps.
Oh yes, well she has had a little bit of luck, but it just shows that the depth of experience that she's had. She's been on the circuit for some time. She's picked up some good medals. In Tashkent Grand Prix last year, she was a silver medalist, and also in Zagreb was 5th place. So she's no stranger, but as you can just see right now, you have Helena who's just held.
Well, that was over.
Very quickly
before
done.
Even got started.
Well, for those who don't know, Helena Melissa from France in 2014 in the World Junior Championships was a bronze medalist, and also the European champion bronze medalist. So a very experienced junior that's coming through now in the ranks of the French team here and has picked up that bronze medal.
Well, I have to say, Suk has to work on her defense to Sankaku Jimmy, because this is her second match in a row that she lost at the beginning of the match.
Yes, well, do you know what? I just think for Emily Suk, it's just been a bad day at the office for her today. It's not been one of her best performances. I've seen her many times on the European circuit, and must admit, she is a bit of a favourite of mine, but today it just didn't happen for her.
Still not bad for 5th place.
So for Italy, we've got a chance now for a bronze medal. Hassoni in the white, and we have Jäger of the Netherlands in the blue. Now this is the Dutch girl is a very, very strong junior athlete, 20 years of age, 5th place in Tunisia this year, but she's under 23 European champion, and at the World Championships and the European Championships was 5th place. So this is someone that the Dutch team have obviously got their eye on in progressing through into the senior world ranking scene. Passoni in 2017 and 7th place in Hooihot Grand Prix, and also picked up a bronze medal in Bucharest in the European Open. So this will be a very interesting match and quite evenly matched. One slightly more mature than the other, and is it going to be the more experienced or someone that's just got that bit between the teeth that's hungry and young, that's enthusiastic to come through to take that bronze medal? Well, she's starting really well anyway.
That was nice Ochigari attempt. Landing Paisoni without the score.
Well, Jäger there, as you can see, desperately trying to control the sleeves. Paisoni trying to come over with that right hand high collar.
And she's getting it.
Well, she hasn't got the collar. She's come over onto the back because she can't really reach the head. That extreme shoulders coming through and taking her of an angle that she can't actually catch that head. As you can see, she's trying to throw the right hand over, catching her opponent's left shoulder, but she's not getting across. Jäger really extreme, showing that right leg, sort of as we saw in the previous matches.
Exactly.
She tends to sort of tease her opponent with the right leg as if to say, try and go for it, but her upper body is so powerfully locked in that she's waiting for her opponent to make the mistake to go for it so that she can work off the counter.
Seems like she really prefers this extreme right-on-right stance when she's fighting, at least from what we have seen here today.
Very extreme, but she also has that Ouchigari that we've seen in previous matches that she's scored and has taken her through to the next rounds.
Only after you have been talking about for 3 minutes.
I was giving her a bit of a coaching tip through there. She obviously was listening. I'd love to take credit, but surely I can't.
And no score there. So got 1 minute and a half to go, and one penalty to Paisoni here, and no score.
Well, over the 2 days, we've had 151 athletes participating, representing 25 countries. That's excellent, isn't it?
It is. Good diversity.
Yesterday, Japan was leading the medal table, and Spain was in the second position.
And today, I don't think we have any Spanish in the finals. No.
No, we don't, but we have Japan,
yes,
with Wada in the under 78 kilos. If she takes a gold medal, I think that will be the sort of finishing of that medal table. I think Japan will remain on top. So we're into the last minute now, 37 seconds precisely, and no score yet. One Shido. It's been very closely fought, this match. Looking at the Dutch girl, she seems to have dominated the bit of the pace and direction of this contest. She hasn't got a result yet, and Passoni.
It's just a very awkward position for.
It's really, like we said earlier on, what's happening is both these athletes are closing up, not really creating much opening for a space to react and to put in an attack. The upper body seems to be so unorthodox, and there isn't much space to maneuver.
Right. And now they're going into golden score here.
Well, that was a very poor drop there from Passoni. Slightly under pressure now as she goes into the golden score.
Just be careful with that cross grip there.
I think what you would like to see is, rather than concentrating so tightly in the upper body, is trying to create a bit more space between them and open up with the feet. Use their feet a little bit more. Be a bit more clever and a bit more gutsy out there. At this moment, it's all upper body. You see Jäger again showing that right leg. She's trying to tempt her, but she's not. Passoni's really not taking the bite. The Ochigari, that was a lovely attack there. So close to scoring.
That was a good fake.
Now an opportunity in Niwaza, but as you can see, the legs too wide apart there. Very little control as she was trying to pull that arm out.
I think she might try that again.
Well, Passoni now, as you can see, two Shidos. One more would result in a hand sokumaki, a disqualification. There's a chance for Italy to take a medal here today. She's battling away here, but rather than edging her opponent to the corner of that mat, she really has to start putting an attack in. It isn't just about gripping up. When you grip, you must use it. You must engage. Neither one of them are really engaging. They're not stepping up to the next level.
The first penalty goes to Jäger. Passoni goes again for Seonagi to Ouchigari combination. This is probably the longest golden score we have seen so far.
Oh, that was so close, that Osotogari. Just lost the control right at the end. Her balance just went tipped to her heels, and she didn't have the finishing drive off the Osoto.
She was in very deep with that Osoto, but didn't have the upper body control, like you said.
Well, sadly for the Dutch team, they've lost the coach because he was coaching while competition was in play. So Heidi Jäger has to go alone here, and
everything's resting on the last penalty.
Now we saw Heidi Jäger lose in the semi-final because she was trying to steal the match. Remember that she used the pull down, and she got the last penalty and was taken out. But the
audience are on the edge. It's such a close match.
Passoni really needs to start putting a couple of attacks in. Now, that isn't an attack. That's just a touching of the legs. Really has to break balance. It has to be a bit more commitment. And at the moment, neither one of them are giving that extra commitment into the attack. The grips are strong. Jaeger is starting to look a little bit scrappy. Nice strong grip, but she backs out. Now, Passoni's got to be careful there. She backpedals to the edge of the mat. She actually stepped out of the contest area. Now, if she does that again, she'll pick up the penalty.
Yes, she has to be very careful with that.
Grosso Tagari, well, there it is. Again, Jaeger did so well to get out of that. She rescued it well. But the referee will see that as a very strong attack. And when you're two Shidos on the board, and this is the danger, and this is the sort of telltale sign, the referee asking both athletes to tidy up.
I think one of them will get the last penalty.
And I think it could be Jaeger from the Netherlands that will get that last penalty.
Well, this must have been the longest golden score match we have seen so far.
And there you have it. Jaeger picks up the last Shido, and the win goes to Pasonia on a Hansokimaki.
It was a close, very close match.
Definitely.
Very,
yes.
very close. Isn't her coach pleased?
Well, it's a bit of a sigh of relief, I would have thought, because that was so close.
It could have gone either way, really.
Definitely. No doubt about it. Well, coming up very shortly is the final of the under 70 kilos. And this will be between Jemima Yates-Brown of Great Britain in the white, and we have Kalita Zubanic of Canada in the blue.
I think you predicted earlier that Zubanic would have ended up in the final.
Yeah, she was the number 2 seed, and she's been a very consistent athlete throughout the years. And part of those, some of those results, the Pan American Open champion, 2017 in Paris, picked up the silver medal, and back in 2016, 7th in the Olympic Games, and at the Tokyo Grand Slam at 5th place. So a very experienced Canadian. This young athlete from Great Britain, 22 years of age, Yates-Brown, who is ranked in the world 55, under 23 European silver medalist and junior world and European bronze medalist. She's been off injured for some time, came back very strongly in Abu Dhabi, where she picked up a bronze medal in the Grand Prix there. So this is an athlete from Great Britain that got great potential. She's a real powerhouse, very, very strong, but her range of flexibility is beyond what we would normally see, and
yes.
As we've seen throughout this contest, in some stages she's had her arm pulled right out for a jujikatami,
oh yeah,
and her
surprised.
opponent is not able to arm lock, and we've seen this so many times. Now here we have the Canadian, but look at the range of her arm, up her back. It's actually quite scary, really, but she obviously knows her own range. She's very, very comfortable when that happens, but I always tend to feel that some of these injuries that she's most probably picked up over the years is because she's just stretched herself that little bit too much on that and relied too much on that flexibility.
That could definitely be a factor there. Always pushing one's body to its limit
and she
beyond.
does, yes. There's been a few times I've been over there at the centre and watched her in the gym where she's been doing a weights program. It's actually quite scary how strong this young lady from Great Britain is.
Oh, I believe you.
Zupanic there once more looking for an opportunity in Niwaza. As you can see, she's got that arm, but look at the flexibility. The arm's just bowing.
I think most people have tapped by that time.
Yes, definitely.
I would have.
It's the ultimate tease
Right.
that she tends to give her opponent. It's like, you can take it, but you're not going to be able to do anything with it. The Kosoto, a fantastic attack there.
Must be a score.
She lost a little. Yeah, well, she's got the Wazari. So close for the Ippon, but she just lost a little bit of direction. The head was turned in towards her opponent, where if she'd only turned her head and looked to the direction she was throwing her, she would have had more impact of hitting that shoulder a bit more square on.
Let's see that again.
So Yates-Brown in the lead there with a Wazari, and 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in this contest. Well, it's a lifetime out there for those athletes. There's still a lot of work to be done. Yates-Brown cannot afford to just step on this and just hold on to the score. She has to keep battling away. Otherwise, the accumulation comes very quickly of these Shidos.
That's true. So far, Yates-Brown's leading, and the work is all on Zupancic. Trying to tie her up.
Well, we're coming up to the last minute of this contest. Yates-Brown leads with one Wazari. The Sutemi was her attempt there, but Yates-Brown predicted that and was prepared as she rotated back onto her opponent, and now securing the Yosakumi. With a Wazari Aseti upon, Yates-Brown takes the gold medal for Great Britain.
And that goes to Kosoto earlier, I think. Yes.
You just see her head. She was looking back at her opponent. If she'd only turned it, it could have been quite easily an Ippon.
Well, that's what we were talking about yesterday regarding the sacrifice techniques, Sutemi Wazas.
Yes.
When you don't do it completely right at the right time, you really sacrifice yourself.
Exactly. And it is about getting, for some of them, it's avoidance of being thrown, that they actually throw in the counter-attack and the big Uranagis, but what they're not getting is that lift and that rotation. They're actually lifting and falling flat on their back, and it is really just rescuing themselves. They've already lost their balance before they've engaged in the counter.
Especially in this case with the Sumigaishi, it was quite easy to pass over the leg.
So now we come across to the under 78 kilo category. Berger, Sophie of Belgium in the white. She's up against Chloe Dolin of France in the blue. Now, Dolin was the number 2 seed coming into this tournament. Bronze medal in Tunis this year. Also under her belt, she has the world and European junior world and European bronze medal to add to that list. And Sophie Berger of Belgium, well, she has a few junior European Cups, quite a few in fact, so a very good junior track record for this young lady from Belgium.
I see Dolin trying several Sasai Tsurukumiyashi from this extreme stance, which is nice change from the other matches we've seen earlier, where they're just kind of stuck.
Well, both these athletes are still very young, 21 Berger, and Dolin 20 years of age. And sadly for Italy, like we said earlier on, Gallion picked up an injury. Oh yes!
That was a big Ogoshi. Tsurigoshi.
That was most probably one of the biggest throws of the weekend.
Yes.
I can't think of anyone yesterday that had such a big throw.
Try to come in for high grip. Oh yeah, that's classic Ogoshi there.
Beautifully executed. Berger takes the bronze medal and a very convincing win. Well, she'll be delighted with that. Dolin most probably will be quite shocked with just what's happened to her there. But nevertheless, a 5th place at this age is still a very good result.
Yes.
20 years of age, so a great junior career, but even a better sort of prediction for a senior career coming in front of her.
Now we have Linda Politi from Italy in white, and Emma Reid from Great Britain in blue. This is for the other bronze medal match in women's under 78 kilos division.
Well, we have Politi here from Italy in the white, Reid in blue for Great Britain.
And Politi is a very powerful fighter, very stable.
She tries not to make, she's a real thinker on the mat here. She doesn't make too many mistakes. When she gets beat by somebody that's better than her, not because she's made an error.
Right.
She takes her time, she controls the situation, has a very aggressive approach, takes control of a contest. Now Emma Reid has now just picked up the first Judo. She throws that arm over the top but misses, finds herself now in the Niwaza, but the Italian Politi, she's not going to mess around down there. She feels that most probably she can do better in the Tachiwaza, trying to secure possibly a score. Politi touching the leg, again breaking the balance of Reid. Reid nearly needs now to just stabilize herself. She's got that high collar grip. Elbow needs to stay down so she can generate a lot more power. But again, she turns her back. Politi there, straight into the Niwaza, but she's got her leg caught up there, which she loses any sort of power and control into trying to get that arm out.
Right.
Emma Reid, 5th place in Bratislava and 7th in Prague.
Politi is trying to control that sleeve. And she goes for Sonagi.
Nice attack there. Linda Politi, a bronze medal in Bratislava European Open. One of her best results, and obviously has the advantage of being on home soil with the support behind her. As we said before, Galeon, the #1 seed, went out the day of the draw in a warm-up and sadly wasn't able to participate.
And here Reid picked up a second penalty with about 2 minutes to go.
So halfway through this contest, Reid is in a really difficult situation. 2 Shidos, 1 more would result in the Hansokimaki. Politi picks up her first Shido. Reid just really has to secure a grip, makes that very powerful and start working from it. Has to start putting in a few attacks. A little bit of a desperate move there from Reid. And now finds herself in some very tricky position.
You can't really see from this angle what is going on the other side.
She catches that elbow. All she needs to do is drop the hips down, and there you have it. The Osokomi's on, and Reid now from Great Britain is in trouble. Doesn't look from this angle that Reid can really do very much out of that. The strong Italian has secured the hold.
It looks like Politi's got that lapel and then controlled that shoulder.
Well, she also had the shimiwaza as well.
Right.
That was out of sight of the referee, and unsportsmanly like, the Italian was bringing that to the attention of the referee as well. So Linda Politi of Italy takes the bronze medal for the under 78 kilos. Emma Reid, 5th place for Great Britain.
The Italian crowd seems to be very pleased with her performance here.
Well, she really took control of that whole contest, didn't she? And for Emma, she really couldn't secure a grip, and when she did, the reaction just wasn't there for her.
Right. Here we have the final between Evelyn Salanki from Hungary in white and Rinoko Wada.
Well, Salanki of Hungary, 23 years of age, 5th in the Junior World Championships back in 2014. And for Japan, one of the youngest possibly athletes participating, 18 years of age, this young lady from Japan.
Well, there's quite a height difference between the two.
Now, Wada, as we've seen in previous matches, favours the Uchimata. Oh, now she left herself very loose there. Wada threw that arm up high. She overreached herself, didn't she?
Yes.
Looking for the Uchimata, but she's up against a very, very strong and tall Hungarian. Not the wisest of moves. Salanki.
Wow.
Oh!
Harai Goshi turning the Haramaki Komi.
Nice. So Wada then digging in deep into the Niwaza.
Against a much taller opponent. You don't see that very often.
Oh gosh, there's a massive difference there. But that's always the danger when you are so tall, is having someone who is so compact in size that can come underneath with these hips and the Uchimatas and the Taitoshis and Seanagis. It makes you become very vulnerable.
That's true. If you can't keep them at a distance.
Oh, and the Japanese are very, very skillful athletes. Technically, they're very, very strong. She comes across there. Salanki, an attempt of a technique that finds herself in the Niwaza position, but on the receiving end in the ground. Hungarian trails now with a Wazari, but also has picked up a Shido. She's trying to desperately come over the top and control Wada. Wada inside lapel grip, left side. Really powering her opponent down. She's very skillful, isn't she? And she's really commanding and controlling this contest.
And Salanki doesn't seem to have an answer for Wada's
She
tactics.
looks very apprehensive, doesn't she? She's backpedaling a little bit. She's trying to look for an opening without overreaching herself and coming over on top of her opponent, because obviously the danger is coming onto those hips.
She's now settling for that sleep grip. Again, they hit the ground. And Wada's really trying to turn her over.
Well, that's the advantage that Salanki has. She's such a long athlete that she can spread herself wide, and it makes it a little bit more trickier to turn someone over like that, that's so spread out and so tall. Oh, the Uchimata there. We've seen that a few times today. Salanki with 2 Shidos on the board. One more would result in the hand sokomaki.
She hasn't really put in much of an attack.
Salanki really can't get through.
She can't get her grip.
She's taken second best every time in her approach. Wada just picking her off, stepping. Well, she tried to counter her there. Good strong balance and awareness when the attack was coming. Wada just turned and put it into her own advantage. Well, just under a minute remaining in this contest, and Wada has been all over this match. She draws her opponent's head down. She looks for an opportunity now in the Niwaza. The clock will tick away quite nicely, but
I'm afraid she might pick up another penalty.
Well, there we have it.
No.
So with 28 seconds remaining in this contest, Solanki will pick up the third and final Shido. And the win and gold medal goes to Japan, Wada. Rinoko.
That was a very nice throw in the beginning.
Oh, it was lovely, yeah. And I don't think there was any doubt right from the beginning that Japan wasn't going to get that gold medal. And it's a Makakomi attempt there, following it through, almost had the Osakomi.
Yes.
So now we will be having just a short break where we're going to be watching the medal ceremony for the under 70 kilos. So we'll leave you for just a short while to enjoy these celebrations, and we'll be back for the last weight category, the plus 78 for women. So we'll see you shortly.
The medals and the flowers will be presented by Refereeing Commission of European Judo Union, Mr. Pascal Giulia. Bronze medalists are representing Italy, Carola Paisoni. And representing France, Melissa Pelé. Silver medalist for Canada, Kelita Subacic. And first place and gold medalist for Great Britain, Katie Jemima Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Great Britain.
Gentili spettatori, adesso tutti in piedi per ascoltare l'inno della Gran Bretagna.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with the great Prince and Judo. Dear spectators, we continue with bronze medal.
Now we continue with the bronze medal of the plus 78 kilo category. And the first match coming up is Kapati of Hungary in the white gi, and representing Italy, Marcio in the blue.
I blu per l'Italia, Elisa Marchio, in bianco per l'Ungheria, Emese Carpati.
Well, Kapati from the Hungarian, 21 years of age, 7 Continental Cup medals under her belt. World ranked 44. Marcio, 25, a little bit more a senior, 4 Continental Open medals and 2 Continental Cup medals, and world ranked 86. Slightly down on the world ranking list, but has the advantage here of competing on home soil. So will that make a difference?
Marcio is from Akiyama Settimo in Turin, and he's from the same club as Fabio Basile.
Well, there's a little bit of success out of that club that's got to rub off an athlete, doesn't it?
Yes.
If anything, it's inspire an athlete to do well on these world circuits.
Their club has consistently produced many good players. Oh, Shido each.
Well, 12 athletes participated today in this plus 78 category. Inamori was the #1 seed from Japan. We'll see her a little bit later on in the final.
That was a poor Tsunagi attempt.
Well, both picking up a Shido apiece in the first minute of this contest. Well, it looks to be a little bit of a battle of trying to secure the grips at first. Working quite dangerously on the edge of the mat, though. The Hungarian has to be very careful that it's a side step and not a backward step. Kapati now trying to draw her opponent into the niwaza. There's the shimiwaza attempt, but as you can see, the Italian drawing to the attention of the referee that it was across the face and not under the chin.
And the referee realized that too, because sometimes they interpret it as a submission signal.
Yes, and that's very true. I've seen that in the past, that an athlete trying to draw the attention, but they misunderstood it as a tap and submission for the. And you can't go back and put them into position, can you? Really?
No, in fact, I remember last year, the World Championships, 81 kilograms between the German and the Italian, it was exactly like that.
I remember that. Definitely remember that. That was it was a real shame, that one. So now we have the Italian, sadly, with 2 Shidos. One more would result in the Hansokimaki. Both of them really need to sort of liven it up into the next gear. Both really opting to play safe in this contest. The drop Sianagi attempt there from the Hungarian, but really not interested in following it through after that drop for the niwaza. Lucio there on the receiving end of that Uchimata Makakomi attempt.
Got half a minute to go. And is someone going to get a penalty here?
Well, if it's the Italian, we're looking at the end of the contest, and it is. And the third and final Shido goes to the Italian. Lucio, which results in the Hansokimaki and the win going to the Hungarian. Kapati, who takes the bronze medal home to Hungary. Well, a little bit of an anticlimax of that match. Neither of the athletes really could accelerate into second gear and played very, very safe in that medal match. And it just needed someone to be a little bit more gutsy, really, didn't it? but sadly wasn't to be, and it ended up in accumulation of penalties. Now we come to the final of the plus 78 kilo category. Oh no, it's the bronze medal, the other bronze medal. I do just racing in front of myself.
We have Christine Bilsao from Germany in white and Sara Yamamoto in blue from Japan.
Now apparently it's not Sara as with the R, it's Sala.
Oh really?
Yes, that's what I was told. It was a Sala. The R is supposed to be an L, but
I guess there was a misspelled there.
No, it's how it's spelled, but it's how it's pronounced, how she wants it to be pronounced. And yes, it was brought to our attention at the time of the draw, which was quite surprising. Bozo of Germany in the white, Yamamoto of Japan in blue.
Oh, nice Osoto. Ouchi.
Japan leads the medal table at the moment with 2 gold medals from yesterday, and they've got an opportunity of another gold medal in the next round, so we've just got to wait and see.
Well, she seems to be doing the right thing. Yamamoto fighting a much heavier opponent.
She's a very tall athlete as well, isn't she? Very, very strong.
She's using Ashiwaza to open up the much bigger German.
Yamamoto, 23 years of age. World ranking list is 51. Only have 1 Grand Prix medal that we've been able to trace for this young lady from Japan, but I'm quite sure at 51 on the world ranking, she's had a few results to take her up there. Bozo of Germany, 23 years of age, same as her opponent. She's a little bit further up the world ranking list at 38, and last year at The Hague took a bronze medal and also a 5th place in Dusseldorf in the Grand Prix. So is very familiar of being on the podium or very close to the podium. You can see the German with that right hand round the back, controls quite nicely. Yamamoto looking for the Ouchigari. She's coming in the inside, but she's trying to come over the top. Doesn't give her much of a leverage, especially against her opponent that's slightly bigger than her. She pressurizes her on the corner of the tatami.
And no penalty for stepping out because they were in the middle of actions. You can see Yamamoto is really trying to just get some reaction.
Oh, lovely Ouchigari there.
And she did.
Had upper body control. She had the 2 lapel grips. She drew down into the shoulders and then hooked with the Ouchigari, piling all the pressure onto the legs. So when she hooked in, then she planted it in, securing the Osokomi. And a win, taking the bronze medal home to Japan. And obviously Yamamoto looking very concerned for her opponent, who looks slightly uncomfortable with possibly an arm injury. As you can see, I think what she did was put her arm down to try and break the fall.
Which is what we are taught not to do in judo.
Exactly. Well, there is the rules. It's now saying that even if you try to break your own fall by elbows or hands, it will, if the movement continues to the back, it still counts. So Yamamoto for Japan takes the bronze medal. And now we're coming up to the final, where Japan's got a chance of taking the 3rd gold medal. Can she do it? Eleonora of Japan in the white, Jerry Eleonora of Italy in the blue. So can Italy get gold, or will it be Japan, the #1 seed, who's had an outstanding performance today? This young lady from Japan, 24 years of age, on the world ranking number 28, Asian champion, and in Tokyo Grand Slam, a 5th place, and also a Zagreb, a bronze medal. Jerry, Eleonora, 21 years of age, 3 years junior to her opponent. Well, slightly different in stature there as comparing to the Japanese teammate we've just seen. Slightly smaller, a little bit more stockier.
Yes.
Well, a period of time now in this contest where they're just sizing each other up and trying to sense the feel and trying to get in the more appropriate grip. As you can see the Italian coming round the back, trying to draw her opponent towards the hips. Inamori, inside grip.
First penalty goes to Jerry.
Once more Jerry comes round the back. I don't know how effective that would be. In fact, quite dangerous. As you can see, the Japanese with the right leg steps across and those hips could come in as well.
Yes.
And we know the Japanese are very, very flexible with the legs. So there's also the Ouchi Uchimata that we've seen.
It's never a good idea to give up the inside control to a Japanese opponent.
Oh, definitely not. And already we've seen that sort of that glimmer of sort of danger that lies in front of Jerry. Jerry obviously not as experienced on the world circuit as her opponent. Don't think she really senses the danger that the Japanese holds by having her arm round the back. It's really just allowing her a wider range of opportunities there.
And Inamori is looking for that Osoto Ouchi Uchimata.
She's got a wide range of technical ability there, and with Jerry having the arm round the back, just leaves the door wide open for her to experiment on those techniques. Oh, right, well, there was a half attempt. She was thinking about the Ouchigari, Jerry was, but she hesitated, and on that hesitation, the foot was there and she lost her balance.
Still, there is no score with just a little over a minute left. Referee stopped the action to give another penalty to Jerry.
So now Jerry in a very difficult situation. A lot of pressure on this young lady from Italy. 2 Shidos on the board, 1 more, resulting in a hand sokumaki. Again, she has the arm round the back, leaving herself open. As you can see now, the drop Sianagi there for Inamori. Inamori, as you can see, with the right hand on the lapel, takes the sleeve quite easily. Looks for the opportunity, tries to draw upon her onto her waist. And Jerry with the arm round the back, leaving herself a little bit vulnerable there. But there's still no score. None whatsoever yet, with 14 seconds remaining. Only 2 Shidos to Jerry.
This might go into golden score, for all we know.
Well, I think we're into the golden score now. They're going to let that ride, but I think that we were going to be looking at another penalty there.
Yes, I think it's just a matter of time.
So Jerry really has to be gutsy. It's all or nothing. She's got nothing to lose. She's got it all to gain. She's two Shidos down. One more would result in a Hansokimaki. You'd rather go for a pon than actually go for a penalty in Hansokimaki. So she's slightly bigger than her partner. Can she really pull something out? I don't know. She seems to be very hesitant. All you're really wanting is the Italian just to step it up into the next gear, and I don't think she's capable of doing it. And this is where we've got another Shido going to go to Jerry, and that will be the Hansokimaki and the win. It's not one of the ways we would like to see a final and a gold medal be awarded, but on this occasion there was nothing else really on offer for the Italian. She really just couldn't step into the next level.
Winner and gold medalist in white,
Nami Inori of Japan takes the gold medal home to Japan, and Jerry of Italy takes the silver. And that was the final match of the day and of the 2 days of this competition. There's been some highs and there's been some lows. There's been one or two of the top seeds that went out in the earlier rounds, which was pretty disappointing, but overall the performance of the weekend has been very, very good, and great potential for European athletes coming through onto the world circuit. Yes. With a lot of youngsters nipping away in those positions and trying to give themselves that opportunity to hit those Grand Slams and Grand Prix. So some interesting times and some potential coming through within Europe.
Yeah, and Japan took top of the medal table with 3 gold.
3 golds, yes.
A few bronzes.
Well, we can have a recap on that medal table. And we will be coming up now very shortly with the medal presentation of the under 78 kilo category. I do hope you'll remain with us to watch those celebrations. And I'd like to say thank you for joining us, and on behalf of the European Judo Union, I hope you'll join us again on another European Cup and European Open throughout the year. And a massive thank you to Lincoln Hun for joining me this weekend. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you.
Well, thank you for having me here. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. And I hope to see you again at the next event.
Yes, we do hope so. And very shortly we're coming to the preparations and the lineup of the under 78s as they just approach the podium.
As we said earlier, Japan tops the medal table with 4 first places and 1 third place and 1 fifth place, followed by Spain with 1 first place, 2 second place, and 2 fifth place. And Italy ranks 5th with 1 second place and 5 third places.
Well, it's not bad at all. A good day at the office, huh?
Yep, 6 medals for the host nation.
And we really have to congratulate the organisers of this event. It's been a fantastic weekend. They've really made they've done an amazing job here in celebrating this competition. The arena is fantastic. It's got a lovely feel to it, great atmosphere, and the spectators have been very knowledgeable, haven't they? So it's always been it's an absolute pleasure to be here in Rome. And here we have the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with ladies and judoka.
And there's the celebrationary pictures for the under 78 kilo category, and now we'll be coming up to the plus 78s. Once more, we have a bronze medal for Japan and a gold medal for Japan. So it was a clean sweep for Japan.
It was.
Going back with a bag full of medals, and it's well, a long way to travel. But at least they'll go back happy.
Yes.
And now the last awarding ceremony.
I have to say, Canada also did well.
Canada have had a great performance over the weekend, and strong athletes coming through on the world circuit. It'll be interesting to see how they perform at the World Championships a little bit later on, but they've got some great juniors as well. That there's obviously something they're doing very, very well over there.
Yes.
I think they've changed a little bit of their coaching structure in Canada, and it's obviously paying off.
Well, they have more resources now with a new national training center in Montreal. I think, you know, it's a good system.
Well, it's obviously working. Something's working for them.
Second place, silver medalist for Italy, Eleonora Jerry. And first place and gold medalist for Japan, Inamori Nami.
Well, that's a big step to take on that podium, isn't it?
It is.
Especially when you've got little legs. But she managed it, and to collect that gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And once more, the national anthem for Japan.
Thank you very much. Arigato.
And thank you for joining us out there, and I hope you'll join us again very soon for one of the European Judo Open tournaments. So finally, I'd like to say goodbye. Myself, Loretta Cusack-Doyle.
And this is Lincoln Hunt. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye.